What is National Interest Waiver Green Card application? I'm Sam Shihab.
I'm Brian Burke.
And we're from the law firm of Sam Shihab and Associates. We practice immigration law all over the U.S. and actually all over the world. And today we're going to talk about National Interest Waiver application. Brian, can you explain to our listeners what is National Interest Waiver application?
Okay, so in most U.S. employment-based green card processes, you have to have something called labor certification. And labor certification is a long, complex, and a little bit painful process. And a national interest waiver application allows you to skip that. Not only do you skip the labor certification, but if you have a national interest waiver case, you can even skip having a job offer, meaning you don't even have to have a sponsoring employer for your U.S. green card.
Which is a great advantage.
Yeah, but it's a big if, Sam, if you can meet the requirements of the national interest waiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things you have to remember when you do a national interest waiver application is that you have to be in the EB2 employment-based category or qualify for it. And if you do not know what an EB2 is, listen to this video that we have for you to explain EB2 employment-based. But beyond that, there are 3 prongs that a national interest waiver applicant must meet, and they're really commonsensical prongs. And if you meet those, you would get a waiver of the labor certification and get a green card in record time. Now, the first prong is that the person's proposed endeavor is both substantial merit and of national importance. That's the first prong.
Yeah. The second is you, the applicant, must be well positioned to advance that endeavor, you know, what you're going to do in the United States.
And then the third prong is, on balance, it would be beneficial to the United States to waive the job offer and thus the permanent labor certification requirements to approve the national interest waiver application. Yeah. Now, let's break it down, Brian, on the first one. What does it mean that proposed endeavor has substantial merits and national importance?
So what you're going to do in the United States, whatever you tell them your work in the United States has to be important and in the interest of the United States.
And that's it, really. Yeah. It's not very complicated. Now, what is the second prong? The second prong is that the person is well positioned to advance the proposed endeavor. Now, the focus in the second prong about the applicant and their advanced knowledge. So what they're looking for your education, you're looking for awards, any patents that you have had, that you are an inventor, a co-inventor, recognitions by others, publications, and the like, to show that you have an advanced knowledge in the field of endeavor, that you are well positioned to be successful in the field.
Yeah, if you're telling them, I'm going to do this great thing, you got to show them you can actually do it.
And you don't need all these requirements. It's mix and match as your background supports.
Yeah. So that third prong, that third requirement is, on balance, it must be beneficial to waive the labor certification requirement for you. And so basically they sort of, look at what you're going to do and consider how important they think labor certification is, and they weigh them out and if things weigh in your favor, you get the national interest waiver. So how do they weigh it? They may consider, is it impractical to do labor certification? Is that test of the U.S. job market for labor certification so ridiculous, because there's nobody out there like you because your skills and credentials are so high. Or maybe the work you're doing is so important that, it's very clear to the U.S. government they should pull out that labor certification step and advance you to a green card immediately.
Yes, and that is the balance test. And you really don't have to be the most knowledgeable person. National Interest Waiver really is not looking for the top people, really people who are exceptional, meaning that they're really, really good, but they're not extraordinary. So the requirement is very broad. And then there's a STEM update from the government. And basically, the U.S. now and USCIS recognizes that STEM talent remaining in the United States is a priority, particularly in emerging technology, national security, or STEM-related areas. And therefore, they are encouraging people with a STEM background and emphasizing people with PhDs, but not PhDs only, and others, to apply under the National Interest Waiver.
Yeah, and that's it. Those are the 3 requirements. That is the National Interest Waiver.
And hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Until the next video, you have a great day.